Hey, Garrett here at GM Jewelry. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about something that a lot of people, I think, kind of don't understand a little bit. I do a lot of these repairs, and people think it's expensive to do these repairs that are actually very important. So what we're talking about are tips or a prong repair or something like that. So when you have your prongs that hold your diamond in, the metal is bent over the diamond, and eventually that will wear away. So we have our diamond profile here. So when you start out with a new ring or something like that, your prong supports the diamond below and wraps over the top and goes back down. What will happen over time as your ring comes into contact with things in and out of your pockets, it's just normal wear. This happens. It starts to wear down. This here, the tip of this, right? So then your prong ends up looking flat, like this. What happens then, if you don't get it repaired at that point, it will break right there. I've seen it a ton of times. It will break right there, and so when that happens, there's nothing keeping your stone in, nothing at all. And that point will feel sharp. If you run your finger over the ring or something, it'll feel sharp. It'll probably snag on your clothes, things like that. Another thing that happens, so as your prong wears down, this part starts to get thin. It will bend this way, and that will open up a gap here. That will also snag your clothes. So if you have a ring that's snagging on things, it's probably an indication that you need to get your tips done, right? So what happens when we do tips, so our prong is flat. This is overly exaggerated, obviously. But what we will do is we'll come in with a piece of metal, whether it's 14 karat, 18 karat, sterling silver, whatever it is. I've not done tips on sterling silver very much, usually because people don't put diamonds in them. But I'll come in with a piece of that material, and I will solder that piece on here much bigger than it needs to be. And then what I do is I file and polish it down until it matches the profile that it should match. Here we charge $15 per tip. So if you have 6 prongs, that works out to what, 90 bucks? And a lot of people will say, oh my gosh, that's expensive. I can't spend that. You know, you're not hardly doing anything. Here's the alternative. You can spend the $90 and get your prongs fixed, or you can wait until these are all broken. And then if you have 4 prongs, if one of them breaks, then you only have 3 prongs holding that in. And it's so much easier to snag one or break another one, and then you'll lose your diamond. Bye. It's gone. Probably not find it. 95% of the time that's the case. People don't find it. And then, not only do you have to pay to fix the prongs, you also have to pay for new stone. So in the end, it really is cheaper just to go ahead and get that maintenance done. Like I said, it's routine maintenance. It happens. It's like changing the oil on your car. If you have prongs on something that you wear a lot, you should expect wear to happen. You can always bring that into us or have me take a look at it. It doesn't cost anything for me to look at something. And I can make a recommendation to you whether we need to do tips, and sometimes this is another thing. The whole assembly here, where the prongs are, right? We'll pretend that has 4 or 6 prongs. It's called the head. Sometimes that head needs to be replaced, especially if it's been worked on a lot. If a prong has been bent and then we bend it back into shape, things like that, that will cause a lot of metal fatigue, and you'll have a lot more problems in the long run. So sometimes that head needs to come out too. And it's kind of the same case. It is expensive. Head sets start at about $150. so that we pull out the old head, put in the new head, solder that in, and then set your stone into it. That's why we call it a head and set. It starts at about 150 bucks. Then again, it's cheaper to go ahead and have that done. It's better for your ring in the long run and for your peace of mind than to worry about losing this all the time. If it's something that you can't afford to do necessarily, take it off. Take it off, put it in your jewelry box, put it in a drawer, something like that until you can actually afford to do it. That's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. I appreciate you watching. Feel free to come in anytime and I can inspect your jewelry. We can clean it, inspect it. That's always free. And make a recommendation on if you need prongs or not.